Hey guys, it's Healer1553. Welcome back to another Beyblade X unboxing. Today we're going to be checking out another one of the starter packs from Wave 4 of Hasbro, that being Hammer Incendio. So let's have a look at the packaging. As you can see, it's the standard UX packaging from Hasbro at this point. So we got the orange band, UX, nice image of Hammer Incendio, along with the open window, bounce type, let it rip. On the back, just goes over the blade itself. So if you close up the Hammer Incendio blade, which says hefty smash attack, we'll see how true that is. For the ratchet, we have 370, and for the bit, we have H. And of course, it says performance may vary and compatible and all that stuff. So let's get into this. So of course, we have the ratchet and the bit. Oh yeah, one thing to note with Hammer, just similar to Busted Random One Wizard from Wave 3, his launcher actually has red launch hooks, and you get a red ripcord, which is actually pretty nice. I do like it when they include some of the special colors like this. And then we have the blade itself. There we go. So, I'll get this all laid out on the table, and we'll go into the parts in more detail. Alright, so here is Hammer Incendio all opened up. So, first off, we'll have a look at the blade itself. Looks really, really cool. Now, of course, Hammer Incendio is the third iteration of the Incendio Bay. And I will say, like, it's not my favorite, but it is really, really cool. Love the gear chip design. So the whole point with Hammer Incendio is it's meant to be specialized in like smash attacks. And because of that, the blading on this is a pretty unique shape. It's definitely not like the other balance types around, and especially other smash attackers. Now it can smash attack and it can do it pretty decently, but when you compare it to say Tyranno Beat, it definitely doesn't do as well. And so you don't really see Hammer Incendio that much on the field. I mean, it still gets a good amount of use, but definitely not as much compared to other bays of its class. But still, it's a pretty decent blade. Here's the QR code. You can scan this into the Hasbro Beyblade X app. So, pretty cool. Next up, we have the 370 ratchet. Nothing too crazy to talk about here. It's the free attrition points at the 70 height. 370 actually can be pretty decent with certain combos. Definitely not as good as 360, but can be useful with certain bays. So, nice to have at least. Finally, for the bit, we have H, otherwise known as Hexa. So, Hexa is a really, really great bit to get here. It's one of the most used balance type bits around at the moment. So, of course, what makes Hexa, well, Hexa is, as you can see, the actual tip is in the shape of a hexagon. And then you got little triangles in there. So, this allows this bit to stay really relatively balanced, but also have a good amount of aggression. It's similar to how Kick is, with its shaping as well, but this one definitely probably is a bit more stamina orientated, and so a lot of people tend to use this on, say, bays like Wizard Rod and Nightmail, and even Hover Wyvern. But it's a really, really nice balance type bit and works really, really well. And originally came out with this bay, so still very, very nice to have that. So definitely cannot complain about it. Alright, let's now go into the weights. So the Hexa bit, hopefully we can stay still, 2.55 grams. The 370 ratchet, this weighs, get this centered, 6.45 grams. And the Hammer blade weighs 33.55 grams. So it is definitely on the lighter side of of the bays, it's really getting close to not really being too usable. Like 33 is kind of on that tipping point, but still, it's an alright weight. When you compare it to the other Reaper bays, it's definitely not as great. So all together, this combo weighs up to be 42.57 grams. So that is it for my look at Hammer Incendio from Hasbro. Pretty decent release overall. I mean, the Hammer blade is a decent blade. As you can see, it can do some of those smash attacks, but definitely not as effective when you compare it to other smasher attackers currently available. The 70 height does hurt the stock combo quite a bit. If it was maybe a 360, it would have definitely been better. Hexa is still a really fantastic bounce type bit to have here. It's one of the best bounce type bits, so it's definitely worthwhile to pick this up for the blade. I mean, the blade's actually pretty decent, but most especially for the Hexa bit. Now, when you compare it to the other two bays from Wave 4 for the starter packs, which one is overall the best? Well, I will say, now granted I don't have Shadow Shinobi from Hasbro, and I don't really plan to get it, but I will say out of these three, I would say the one Wizard 160 Rush is definitely the best starter pack to get. Drumbuster probably Drumbuster and Hammer are probably tied for second, because you actually are getting a really good blade here, and you are getting a decent blade and a decent bit with this one. So my recommendation is, if you are interested in the starter packs, I would say definitely go for this one first, maybe this one second, and maybe this one, if it's next to it, or dead last. Well, granted, Shadow Shinobi, dead last, but I can recommend all three of these starter packs, without a doubt. But that's going to do it for this review. Thank you guys so much for watching. And stay tuned for the next Beyblade X unboxing. Till then, I'll see you guys all in the next video.